Hi guys, it's your girl, and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. And today I'm reacting to UK versus US playground. See, this is from An American Living in England. So we're going to get right into this one. So if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to go in the description and check out the link for his channel. I don't want to spoil his first name, but the link for this video will be in the description below. So please go over and show them some love. All right, we're going to see the difference between the UK versus the US playground, because I got 5 kids. And the playground, sometime here in the US, you wonder, why aren't there more stuff inside of the playground for the kids to play with? Now, I don't know what a UK playground look like, so this video is going to be interesting to me. All right, so with that said, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and to all my regular schmeglers, day one, city pie, city poos, come on in, right back, put a smile on your face, and enjoy this video with your girl. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Here we go.
Hey guys, my name is Matthew,
Hi,
and today
Matthew.
we're going to be talking about playground equipment in the UK versus the USA.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
So I'm an American and I'm living in England. I'm traveling around the UK and I'm doing that with my 3-year-old daughter whose name is Willow. Willow loves playgrounds. She loves the park. She loves playing outside. That's just like any other 3-year-old. She loves it. And so no matter where we go in the UK, we've had the opportunity to go to literally dozens of parks in the UK. So that way she can enjoy the time climbing on things, swinging and swings. She loves the whole experience.
Nice.
I do want to say for Willow, I don't think she would notice a difference between parks in the US and the UK.
Okay.
I think for people who are 3 years old, parks do what they're supposed to do. They're absolutely perfect for that. And no matter where you are, they tend to be about the same. Obviously, she may notice some differences, but they're not going to be, she wouldn't say the one park is objectively better than the other. She really likes parks just in general. For an adult who's visiting parks with your 3-year-old, though, I think you could notice lots of differences between parks in the US versus the UK.
Sure.
And depending on what kind of parent you are, you actually may like one country's parks over the other. I'll explain more. There are lots of small differences between the general ideas of parks in the US versus the UK. For instance, the baby swings or the toddler swings have a different design.
Yeah.
Nearly everywhere in the US, they're made out of this kind of flexible rubber. They kind of look like an upside down rounded bucket with the legs cut out.
Yep.
And they're a really simple design. In the UK, they use a similarly simple design, but it's different. It's the shape of kind of a crate or a box.
Oh.
And it swings in the same way. It's pretty much the same, but it's more rigid. So you have a flat bottom instead of something that conforms to your child's bottom. It doesn't make a difference. It does the same thing. What's really interesting about the playground equipment in the US versus the UK, though, the actual big differences are in the risk level that's associated with parks in the UK. In the US, over the last 20 to 50 years or so, they've taken the time to make the playgrounds safer. So, for instance, there was a park close to my house when I grew up that had a merry-go-round in it, and it was super dangerous. It was like made out of metal and it was super slick, and so you'd spin that thing around, and like once a week, someone was falling off and hitting their head. The merry-go-round had to go, obviously, because it was a safety risk, and so they got rid of it. Similarly, in the daycare that I was at when I was a little kid, there was this really, really tall slide. And I actually fell off of it once when I was a kid from the very top and knocked the wind out of myself. It was a really unfortunate experience. And they got rid of that slide too. In the US, there's been kind of this idea that safer playground equipment is better because safe kids equals better. That seems self-evident. That's why when I came to the UK, I was surprised to see a lot of the dangerous equipment that's been removed from the US alive and well here.
Oh.
Every park I go to has like 4 or 5 things that spin. Spinning things in general aren't that safe because kids let go when it gets too fast and then they fall off and they're dizzy and they slam into things and they get concussions, and that's just true. And tall things, obviously, those are inherently risky because the higher you get off the ground, the more likely you are to fall to the ground from that height. And so in the UK, I've also been surprised to see incredibly tall slides and incredibly, just things that are easy to fall off of and things that are just inherently riskier. This difference seems like you would automatically say, well, the US must be better then. If they've got safer equipment, it's better than the less safe equipment that the UK has. And in some ways that might be true. Like for instance, for Willow to play on, that may be true because for a 3-year-old, you'd want safer equipment, not dangerous equipment. But what happens in the UK, and I've noticed this a lot, and I've noticed it in myself even, is because the equipment is bigger and more dangerous, it's more likely to encourage an adult to play with their kids on the playground equipment. For instance, at the park that's closest to my house, we have this really great obstacle course that is way too advanced for Willow.
That makes sense. Because I'm like, where's he going with this? But then again, when I look at the playgrounds here, they don't tend to have, lately, I think they've changed up the way that the playground look based on the fact that these play areas, they were mainly dirt and hard surface. So when you fall from the slide or you slide down, you're going down into dirt, you're going down into mud. It's hard. Now I realize they're changing them and putting rubber at the bottom. So if you do fall, you're not hitting the ground. It's not as hard when you hit your head because you're hitting against rubber. You understand me? So that's a plus here in the US. But there's not a lot of things in the playground either. You'll have a slide, you'll have those baby swings like he said, and that's pretty much it. You don't really have a lot of stuff. And the playgrounds are necessarily for kids and not for adults. Adults can't really go on those stuff. When you think about it, yeah, because the slides, they're a bit narrow, they're not as spacious, and the swings, the baby swings, even the adults, well, the bigger one that you just sit in and swing, they're not for adults either. Adults do swing in them, but they're more catered towards kids up to teenage years. That's how I see it. So it's interesting that he said they do have the bigger ones. They do have the taller ones there in the UK because they're like gearing towards adult taking part with the playing instead of just kids and adults just sitting there and watching what is going on. So I like that.
She can't possibly do it on her own, which means she wants to do it, of course, which means I have to go do it with her. That's the only way she could possibly do it.
So you get
you
involved.
I am climbing on this obstacle course with Willow, enjoying it, having fun, and we're doing it together because it's riskier, because there's no way she could do it without me. I think it's also better for older kids. As you're getting into the teenage years, I think in the UK, it's really easy to still go to a playground and enjoy playground equipment. Whereas in the US, that's harder to do. There's a bit of a stigma about older kids and adults using playground equipment. In the UK, I feel like there is less of that stigma. It's more accepted and I think necessary to play on the playground equipment with your kids in the UK. Overall, I wouldn't say that one is objectively better than the other. I think they're very different. And I personally think that the UK one is better for me and for where our family's at right now. I really enjoy the fact that I get to enjoy the equipment with my daughter, that we get to spin on the spinny things and ride the tall slide together, and that the equipment is big enough and heavy enough that it can support me and risky enough that it needs to support me if Willow wants to do it. I really enjoy the playgrounds in the UK because they're riskier. There's also a really interesting article about this that I'll link in the description about how risk on playgrounds might actually be better for kids. Anyway, if you've enjoyed any of this content, please feel free to like and subscribe. We put out new content every single week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so we'll see you guys next time.
See you.
Hey, guys.
So I get where he's coming from with that. And yes, here in the US, there's a big thing about older kids don't want to go to the playground. They'd rather stay home, or they're just taking their siblings and sitting to the side. They don't necessarily take part when they're on the playground. And that's something that I've noticed here for real. And there's not much for them to do in the playground either, because there's not much obstacles in a lot of these playgrounds here in the US. And one thing I realized, these playgrounds tend to copy each other. What you find at one is what you find at the other. There's not much difference between moving from one playground to the next here. That's something. Look like they're so uniform. They're all built the same way. And I love what he said. He said, in the UK, it caters for older kids. And there's something that I noticed in his video. The playground is much way bigger than the playgrounds that we have here, from what I've seen, observed in his video. I'm like, oh, that is very spacious. And there's so many things to do within on the playground than just few items here that I am used to here. And I've been to different states and I've been to different areas different playgrounds around the US. And like I said, they don't really have much to offer, especially to the older kids. And when he said, I like that it's riskier, I like the fact that I can also play and it can sustain my weight to play along with my kid, that's a plus in itself. Because like I said, it don't tend to happen that way here in the US. So, and really enjoy this video. I see where he's coming from with it, and I you can tell the difference based on how he explained and from the pictures that and the video that I see in the background. There's a difference between the two. Take it from me, because believe me, I've been to a lot of play park with my kiddos. It's a girl and I'm running out. And yes, there is a stigma here with adults and older kids being in the play park. But to me, don't make no sense. It's a playground. Golly. But yeah, things are weird here in the US. A lot of things. They'll be like, oh, what's the, yeah. We can go dive in a rabbit hole when it comes on to this. It's your island girl, and I'm running out of here. Be good, be kind, be safe. Love you guys, and I'll definitely catch you guys in another video. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the share. If you enjoy this video, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Bye.